Welcome to the big show! Massive changes are coming to the World Cup. Let's see how these new dynamics work. Are you ready for the kickoff? The World Cup is expanding! That means way more thrilling matches! I will help you understand all of it.
In the next few minutes, you'll understand every major new rule without needing a football degree. Let's start with the biggest change of all. Instead of 32 teams, the World Cup now has 48 teams. That is massive. Imagine the Super Bowl suddenly tripling the number of teams involved. That's basically what FIFA has done. The World Cup has had 32 teams since 1998. But now 16 extra countries are joining the party. Why? Because football is truly global. FIFA wants more countries to experience the biggest tournament on Earth. And here's the crazy part. Some nations that almost never had a chance before now realistically do. That means more underdogs, more surprise stories, and probably a few teams you've never heard of. And that leads to the next rule change. Because if there are 48 teams, you obviously need more matches. The 2026 World Cup will have 104 games. The last World Cup had just 64. That's a jump of 40 extra matches. In other words, there will be football almost every single day for more than a month. If you're a fan, that's heaven. If you're trying to get work done, good luck. Now, here's where things get interesting. The group stage is changing too. Previously, there were 8 groups of 4 teams. Now there will be 12 groups of 4 teams. Each team still plays 3 group matches. So if you're completely new to football, think of the group stage like mini-leagues happening at the same time. You play everyone in your group once, earn points, and try to finish near the top. A win gives you 3 points. A draw, basically a tie, gives you 1. A loss gives you 0. Simple. But here's the twist. Before, only the top 2 teams in each group moved on. Now the top 2 teams from every group qualify, and so do the 8 best third-place teams. Read that again. You can actually finish third and still reach the knockout rounds. That's a huge change. It means more teams stay alive longer. It means fewer countries are eliminated early. And it means almost every group match will matter until the end. But there's another consequence. The knockout stage is getting bigger too. The World Cup used to go straight to the round of 16. Now it starts with a round of 32. That's 16 extra teams fighting to survive. And if you've never watched football before, the knockout stage is easy to understand. Lose once, you're out. Win, you keep moving forward. It's basically March Madness with soccer balls and billions of viewers. And speaking of billions, the final itself is expected to be watched by well over 1 billion people worldwide. Few events on Earth even come close. Now let's talk about qualification, because this expansion completely changes who gets in. Every continent is receiving more World Cup spots. Africa gets more teams, Asia gets more teams, North America gets more teams, South America gets more teams. Even Oceania, which usually struggled to qualify, now gets a guaranteed place. That means countries that used to treat qualification like a miracle suddenly have a real opportunity. The World Cup is becoming less exclusive and more representative of the entire planet. And honestly, that's one of the most exciting changes, because some of the greatest World Cup stories come from unexpected places. Nobody predicted teams like Morocco or Croatia would make deep runs in recent tournaments. Now imagine what could happen with 16 additional countries involved. Some team you've barely heard of today might become everyone's favorite team in 2026. And finally, there's one more historic change. The tournament is being hosted by 3 countries at once: the United States, Canada, and Mexico. That's never happened before on this scale. 16 cities, 3 nations, hundreds of thousands of traveling fans. It's less like one sporting event and more like a football festival spread across an entire continent. So here's the quick recap. The World Cup now has 48 teams, a record 104 matches, 12 groups instead of 8. The best third-place teams can still advance. The knockout stage expands to a round of 32. More countries qualify than ever before, and 3 nations are hosting it together. In other words, the World Cup isn't just getting bigger. It's becoming the most ambitious sporting tournament ever attempted. And if football has never really made sense to you before, 2026 might be the perfect time to jump in. because history is about to look very different. And trust me, you'll want to say you saw the beginning of this new era. If you want more beginner-friendly football explainers, make sure to subscribe, because by the time this world